Can't complain. I'm gonna do a collective read, see what's going on for y'all. We are in Aquarius season. Today is what the happy birthday, sun sign Aquarius is. Okay, I hope everybody's enjoying their solar return. Those who are celebrating, and for those who are celebrating with their loved ones who are celebrating their solar return, shout outs to you. Now, for us who are not sun sign Aquariuses, we still have a lot going on in the house of Aquarius, and we got a solar eclipse coming up in another week. So the energies are very intense. Not only is Pluto, the Sun, Mercury, and Mars in Aquarius right now. I think all those are still there. We got some asteroids there, and then there's going to be an eclipse there because the lunar eclipse they're in Pisces and Virgo. They're going to be moving to Aquarius and Leo. And so the solar eclipse is in another week or so. So we got a lot of activity going on in Aquarius. So make sure you check out your Aquarius house. This is for those who are astrologically inclined. Let me see. What sign is the moon in the day? I think it's in Libra. Yeah, I think it's Libra, if I'm not mistaken. Oh my God, I just got these nails done. Don't tell me I broke them. Okay, let me see. So today is it the 8th? Damn, it is the 8th. Okay, so yeah, on the 12th is the new moon, the solar eclipse. So we about 4 5 days away. All right, so the energies are picking up here. Today is Sunday the 8th. It's the moon in Scorpio. We just left Libra yesterday, so we just come into Aquarius. Just come into Scorpio um, this morning, early in the morning, I believe. But at any rate, just want to let you know what's going on with that. So let's see how these energies could be affecting us, okay? Messages for the collective. I hope everybody's doing well. I'm chilling. You might hear a little noise in the background. You hear my loud ass washing machine, but it'll go off in a little bit, but it may make a little noise until then. So just bear with me with the noise, okay? Sorry about that. But, I stay multitasking. It's just the story of my life. So I digress. Let's get these cards out here. I just dropped a few. All right, what's going on? Come on, why they not? I don't know what's going on. So somebody could be stuck trying to make a decision. All right, thinking about a decision they have to make. Could be trying to mull everything over, weighing the pros and cons. I feel like it could just be fear. Okay, that could be stopping someone from moving forward. But when it comes to that, look at what you're afraid of. Why would you? Why? What are you afraid of when it's time for you to make a decision? It's like, yo, should I do this? Should I do that? Weigh the pros and cons of each, right? If you got to write it out so that you can actually look at it and understand it. But write it out. Sometimes that just helps to clarify things. But look at the pros and cons of each, and then look at what is the worst case scenario that could happen if you went each route, and then how would you resolve that worst case scenario? So for those of you who are deciding you're working full time and you're like, yo, I'm tired of this, I want to go out and do my own thing. It's like, okay, well, what's the worst case scenario for you going out and doing your own thing? Well, the thing is I need to have financial security. I need to have financial stability. All right, then. So why don't you, before you even do that, why don't you put some money up? Or if you're gonna leave, focus your first, specific time frame on whatever money you got coming in. You put that to the side so that you have some type of nest. You know what I mean? If financial stability is your only concern, there's other things that come into play, but that's just an example. So weigh your pros and cons. Look at what the fear is of you not making a move. Because you're going to have to make a move. You're going to have to deal with one of the fears at some point in time. So the best way to do it is to look at the fear itself. And then whatever it is that you fear, what is it that you can do now to prepare yourself so that in the event that that fear does come true, you're able to glide through it or go through it and have everything in place so that it doesn't hinder you for a period of time, for an unnecessary period of time, or stagnate you or put you back to square one. That's the best way to do it based on my experience and me having to make, choices and trying to figure out, yo, why won't I do that? Because I'm scared as death of blah, blah, blah. Okay, so what if blah, blah, blah happened? What would you be able to, what can you prepare yourself to do now so that if blah, blah, blah happens, you good? or you'll be as good as you possibly can. You know, you can be based on the circumstances and situations. A lot of times, a lot of things people are they're not doing it just because of money, lack of money. Well, maybe you got to go get you a part-time job because you want to leave and you got to put away at least this amount of money before you do. Then maybe you need to pick up some extra hours, or take that hobby that you make a couple dollars here and there for and start, making a little bit more money. Put that, figure out what you need for you to feel comfortable to jump over that ledge. Go out there and get that money, put that to the side, and then boom, jump the ledge. Okay? What's up with the collective? What we need to know. Yeah, Empress energy in reverse. So for some of you, you may feel a lack of control. You may feel that you don't have everything in order. You may feel as if you don't have enough funds. It could just be negative talk, right? Because the feminine energy, if we're talking about this in the spiritual sense, this is physical, right? So physical could be money. All right, you don't have the physical means to do it. Some of you may be trying to work on your weight, losing weight. Some of you may want to lose weight. Some of you may want to gain weight. So it could be a health thing here, because Libra, the Empress is ruled by Venus. So Venus is what you appreciate, what you love, your money as well. Okay, so it could just be a lack of thereof, or feeling that there could be a lack, or the lack is what's concerning you, from keeping you from moving forward. What else we got going on? This one came out first. So this is the Hermit energy in reverse. Okay, another major arcana. So the Hermit energy, yeah, exactly. Like I said, you don't want to go back. Okay, because the Hermit energy, in most traditional cards, you see him walking forward with like a light, right? But this is also about meditation here. So this is about, maybe you trying to figure out how to make the best decision by going within and just sitting for a moment quietly and just getting your thoughts together. It's like, okay, let me get my thoughts together. I could do this, I could do that. Sometimes you get to a certain point and you don't figure things out because you got other shit going on and you don't got time to really mull over it. Really think about it, really focus on it and sit down. So for some of you who are making major decisions, this could be this could be what will help you to clarify everything. Because, Virgo deals with analytical, looking at things, breaking it down to its very last compound, not leaving anything out, not leaving any details out, right? So for some of you with this in reverse here is that, you don't want to jump into something and lose out because you didn't mull everything over and think everything over clearly. Okay, so that's what I'm getting to. And then the other card that came out here, actually, this is the Hermit. Wait a minute, this is the Hermit. This is the Hierophant. So the Hierophant came out in reverse second. So, okay. I feel like with the Hierophant, because this is the Pisces axis, the Pisces Virgo axis that we're about to leave on the 11th. Today is the 8th. So it's interesting that this came out. And what I was reading was the Hermit energy, but I was reading it in reverse. So that makes sense because the Empress, the High Priestess is Pisces. And the opposite polarity of Pisces is Virgo. Okay, so I'm on point with that shit. All right, so let me just continue on. So with the Hermit energy coming out here, you'll be able to figure this out. You just have to sit quietly and keep things to yourself. Analyze everything. Gather all the resources, all the information, all the data that you need to make the decision you need to make so that you don't end up going backwards. And you do want to keep things to yourself. The thing is that, whatever you got going on, whatever it is that you're trying to do, may not want to reveal everything. Like, I'm just getting it for some of you, telling your boss too much, telling your employees too much. Or your coworkers too much about what's going on in your world. They don't need to know what's going on with your financial situation, things like that. For some of you, there is a lack of money. And some of you may be feeling like you're drowning. You don't want to drown in debt. You don't want to drown in your emotions about a situation. You may feel like you are losing control or losing your grip on a scenario or a situation. There's confirmation with my alarm. Confirmation. So the best way for you to handle this is to gather the facts, gather everything you need to confirm what it is you need to do as much as you can. Because, that's what Virgo deals with. It deals with the details. Investigate everything. Figure out what's going on. What do you need to do to make this happen? What don't you have? How can you get it? What do you need to do to go about getting it? Is it going to cost you more? Like, what's most important to you, time or money? So enable for you to do whatever it is that you need to do. What's going to cost you more? Is it going to cost you more time or more money? For me, I can always get more money. I can't get more time. So the last thing I'm trying to waste is time. So I'm looking at a situation from, okay, how much time do I have, to get what I need to get and to get where I need to get? Am I just procrastinating because I'm scared? So I'm taking a long route? Or can I get this done quicker, without wasting as much time if I just go ahead and take that leap? Okay, well, if I take that leap, what could happen? Why am I scared to take that leap? Because I don't have A, B, and C in place. I don't know. There's going to be an element of unknown. You got to understand that there's going to be a level of unknown. But on the physical realm, because we're dealing with all earth energy here with the Empress energy in reverse and the Hermit energy, you basically want to make sure you have facts, you have logic, you have funding. So facts and funding. Okay, and you break everything down and you look at everything. Okay, if this goes wrong, what could I do? Okay, well, I might be able to do this. But for some of you, what you don't want to do is, with this Pisces energy in reverse, you don't want to imagine every possible thing that could happen, because some of it is not realistic. You deal with shit as it comes. Like, I remember I was working in customer service one day, and this woman was complaining about the internet, because I was doing tech support, and she was like, "Well, I'm trying to get on and it's not working." And I'm like, "Okay, well, I'm going to send you a link, and you're going to go ahead and click on that, and then once you click on that, you're going to just follow the instructions, and it'll allow you to get online." It works for everybody, basically, right? So I'm telling her this is what I'm going to send her. So she's saying to me, "Well, what if I get it and I click on it and it doesn't work out?" I'm like, "Okay, well, you cross that bridge when you get to it. Don't create problems that are not there yet. You already have a problem. We are solving that problem with this link. If you click on this link and you follow the instructions, you should be good. Now, don't try to cause a problem before you get the link. Get the link, click on it, read it thoroughly, follow the instructions. Don't be in a rush, don't be in haste. Take your time and read it. Calm yourself down, take a breath, read the instructions, follow directions. Hermit energy, right? Follow directions. And then if you have a problem, simply call back. It's just that simple. Don't create a problem that's not there. And so a lot of us do that. Okay. Well, what if, well, you didn't even, that's not even the case. That's not a problem. You're creating something that didn't even occur. Like, this is half people's problems when they're trying to figure shit out, or trying to decide what move they're gonna make. Well, what if, and it's just negative self-talk keeping you from going there. Okay, well, what if that does happen? What if you do click on it and the shit doesn't work out, and you gotta call back? Then what? You just gotta call back, right? It's not something you can't do. So why is that scaring you? You understand what I'm saying? Like, you got to look at things logically sometimes. You got to take your emotions out of the situation. Is there a procedure that I can follow in the event something goes wrong? As long as there is, you're good to go. Because if it goes wrong, then what are you going to do? You're going to follow that procedure. If you don't have a procedure in place, if something goes wrong, it could very well be because nothing has gone wrong yet. And so you didn't know that that was an issue. Sometimes you're going to have to improvise. So sometimes there's something that's going to happen that's unexpected. What if you are so worried about this particular thing going wrong and it doesn't, but something else goes wrong that you didn't even think about? Well, then you'll have to improvise at that point. Sometimes you have to stop and use critical thinking skills. And it's amazing how sometimes we don't use that, or we underestimate our intelligence, our critical thinking skills, or our problem solving capabilities. Like, for some of you, this could be happening because this is what you need to develop. You need to be able to trust in yourself and know that you have the capabilities of resolving a problem. You have everything you need. We have to keep reminding ourselves everything that we need is here. We are remarkable individuals as far as a human being. We have so many gifts, talents, and the way we are designed, we can figure out just about whatever it is that we want. Now, another thing that happens is you have to be careful what you're asking for and what you're going after and what you're trying to take, right? If you're trying to take something or gather something or get something. If you're trying to go towards something and it gets more difficult as you go towards it, that's the universe telling you that that's not meant for you. Some of us ignore the warning signs. Like, say You got this person that calls you up and they're like, yo, come on, let's go to this spot. I'm about to come get you in about an hour. Yo, let's get ready. You already said to yourself, yo, I was already out with this person 2 weeks ago. I'm not going back out with them again. They get drunk, they get crazy, they don't know how to handle themselves. I gotta babysit them. This, being around people who don't know how to handle themselves and conduct themselves, where now you gotta be the designated driver, you gotta be responsible, you gotta be the one to think logically because this person doesn't do it once they become inebriated. And you're like, yo, I'm not going out with them anymore because they put, not only do they put themselves in jeopardy, they put me in jeopardy. And that's not worth the risk for me. I like this person, you know, but yeah, I can't go out in public with them like that. You know what I'm saying? Or go to events and things like that with them. I'm not doing it. But yeah, here this person calls you 2 weeks later talking about, yo, let's go. Now, normally when the person is okay, you love hanging around them. You have a good time with them, right? But you know that there's too much shit fucking with them. But you're like, okay, all right, let me just let that go. I know how they are. I know, and you make excuses and you compromise yourself and you get ready to go. They're like, yo, I'm coming to get you in an hour. Here you are getting dressed. Now you can't find nothing to wear. Or the shoes you wore when you tried to put it on, the strap broke. Or, the shoestring broke on your kicks whenever you're trying to tie them up. Or you done tripped over your shoe and fell and hit your knee trying to get, like, this is the universe telling you shit, right? Causing all kinds of little disturbances so that you don't go with this person. You don't go hang out. Like, we got to pay attention how our body responds to certain stimuli. Like, a lot of us don't even pay attention to that. But when a certain person calls you or you're going to do a certain thing, how does your body feel? Right? You going on this job interview, how does your body feel? You talk to this boss, you talk to this manager, you interview with them, how does your body feel? Yeah, you need a job, but how did you feel interacting with them? Did you feel comfortable? Did you feel antsy? Was there some type of anxiety? Was something in you telling you that something wasn't right based on what they were telling you? But it's like, yo, I need this job anyway, so I'm gonna take it. It's like, okay, understand that if you take it, then what may happen after that, is not going to, being at that job may not be a blessing for you. In the physical realm, you need this money. So you got to take this job. But when you get there, your spirit is telling you, yo, I'm not going to like this person. They don't seem like they explain everything. When I ask a question, they're kind of condescending. And I don't think I'm going to be able to work with this person, but I need this job. But if you take that job, then just know that it's going to be a bunch of bullshit that comes that, you're going to have to get yourself out of. That's just the way it is, right? So these are certain things you have to think about, and you have to listen to your body because your body tells you, you know, everything you need, you got. It's just you're not listening to it. We dumbing it out for whatever reason. Okay? Yeah, here's the Six of Wand energy in reverse. Not believing in yourself. Okay? Not thinking that you have what it takes to do what needs to be done. Not putting yourself in a position to make informed decisions and know that you can trust and believe in what yourself, and not having the courage with that Leo energy, not having the courage to put yourself first and to say, no, I'm not going out with you, or no, I'm not going to be able to make it. Paying attention to the signs. I can't fit in these jeans that I just wore them last week and now all of a sudden they extra tight and don't feel comfortable around my waist. Or because I'm going out with this person, right? And then you put on the jeans a couple days later, they fit fine. It's like you gotta pay. It's like certain shit we just don't even pay attention to that we need to start paying attention to because the signs and symptoms of how we should move are right there in front of us. It's just we overlook it because we so overstimulated. So sitting by yourself, meditating, if you can do it for at least 5 minutes before you go in the house and you sitting in the car. A lot of people sit in the car but don't be on the line, surfing. Just sit there quietly. You'd be surprised at how many people can't sit quietly for 10 minutes. They gotta go act on a thought. Like just sit there for 10 minutes and don't act on any thought that comes to your mind unless it's an emergency. Other than that, train your body to sit there. Set your timer and sit your ass still. Let all those thoughts that come in your mind, let them come and go. They're just thoughts. We pick and choose the ones to act on. Don't act on anything for 10 full minutes. Like you gotta train you. This is what's gonna allow you to start clearing out Yeah, and it, all this unnecessary shit that you've absorbed during the day, so that you can make logical decisions. You can make decisions that are best for you. You gotta make the effort to do it. And then some people, they can't do it, so they get frustrated at others who seem like they got their shit together. I remember this one guy was telling me that this girl said to him, she came to him and she was like, because he and I both knew her, and we both knew that she was just a hot fucking mess. She just got a lot going on because she done been through some things, the unhealed trauma. So she was a lot to deal with. And he and I both knew this. So I guess I wasn't there one day. And then he and I reconnected. And he was like, she came up to me and asked me, how come you so calm with everything? How come you just seem like nothing bothers you? You just seem, and that's the key. The key is that you're not overstimulated and you're working on your traumas. When you're allowing yourself time to get rid of all the shit that you processed, sit down and have time to just, de-escalate. What is it, the word I want to use? You're sitting down and you're just allowing, it's like, how you let shit roll down the drain. All, you rinsed out the sink and you just let it all roll down the drain. It's like you let all of that shit out that you taken in from the day. And then you got to take it deeper and you got to focus on your traumas. What triggers you and why is it triggering you? It's a lot of work. You got to do work, but you are responsible for you. You are here to do the work. That's why you were brought on this planet, to do the work. And then when you wonder why shit is not going your way, and then you start looking at what everybody else is doing and you start coveting feelings for everybody else because they got what they got going on and they doing this and they doing that. That's half the problem. You focused on other people because you won't sit down and focus on yourself, because some of you don't know how to focus on yourself because your brains are stimulated to focus on everything else going on around you. Like, this internet shit is killing a lot of people. There's a lot of resourceful information out there to help you to do whatever it is you need to do. But when they start sending you shit that don't make no sense, and it's like, oh, it's funny, you try to medicate yourself because you got a lot of stress. So you look for stuff that's funny. Look for and then the next thing you know, you're not focusing on what you got to do. 2 days done went past. You were supposed to do A, B, and C. You ain't do it because when you sit down and you get on that damn phone instead of sitting down and just being quiet and letting whatever thoughts come to your mind, let them come and go, and try to recenter yourself. I know it sounds corny, but like, that's the only way you're gonna, get some clarity. Else you're gonna drive yourself crazy. You're gonna let the world do it. You're gonna be right in the passenger side, the world gonna be driving, and y'all just gonna go right off the cliff. You better take the wheel, or you better get out that car, okay? Facts. So the Knight of Swords energy here. Yeah, this is downloads. This is you doing too much, going too fast. All the messages and everything that's coming to you, the Gemini energy. What's in Gemini? Is it Jupiter that's in Gemini? Well, that's too much goddamn information. Taking in too much information, learning to sift. Just imagine all these cards are thoughts. You have the opportunity to investigate each card and decide, okay, I'm going to act on this thought today. Instead of, oh, I got all these thoughts, I don't know what to do. Oh my God, I don't know what to do. All these cards can represent a thought and you're frustrated because you don't know what to do. All you have to do is look at each thought. Does this make sense? What you know what I'm saying? It's just a thought. You don't have to act on everything. Some people get overwhelmed with choices. I used to be that way. Like, oh my God, what am I got? I got all these choices. I got all these. Stop. What is the purpose of you even looking at these choices? What is the goal? The goal is to do A, B, and C. Okay, fine. What are they, what's going to cause you problems with each of these? What are the pros and cons of each? Okay, now decide what you can do. Sometimes it's that simple. And sometimes we just need to be reminded. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, exactly. Saturn. Boundaries, limits, knowing the ledge, and then finally reaching that goal. See, a lot of people, when they talk about Saturn, they talk about the negative aspects of it. But if you look at this picture, this person has reached their goal. Why? Because they put everything in order. Saturn's about putting things in order. Okay. Getting information, using the information that you have to decide what's best for you, putting your ego to the side, okay, with the Six of Wands energy reverse, not worrying about what other people think and what other people have to say about the decisions you're making for yourself. Just doing what it is that you need to do and doing that for you, and knowing that, okay, these are the consequences of me making this decision. Am I able to live with those consequences? These are the consequences of me making this decision. Am I able to live with those consequences? Because no matter what you do, there's a cause and there's an effect, right? So no matter what you do, you're gonna have to live with the consequences of your actions. The thing is what consequences are you able to live with based on the actions you've taken? So yes, you have to use your fucking brain, right? For those of us who already know, you have to use your brain. All right, you just do. It just is what it is. You can't rely on the outside world. What you want to start doing is, if you have a decision you need to make, stop relying on other people and other people's opinion, especially people who've not done what you're trying to do. Why are you going to your mom, asking your mom about going off into the world and doing it? Not, I won't say your mom. Well, in a sense, depending on how your mom is. If your mom is somebody who's pressing you to have kids, right? But yet you're not interested in having kids, or you decided that you want to live your life first and then have children. But your mom is like, no, I want you to get married now and have kids. Your mom may not be the best person for you to go to ask about, okay, should I move? What city is best for me to move to in reference to my photography career or my culinary arts career? Where should I relocate? She may not be the best person for you to talk to in reference to that. You may want to talk to somebody who's already doing what it is that you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Or you may just want to do some research to find out what opportunities are available, and then you can call and ask questions based on what you've confirmed and what you've read, right? So you got to be careful of who you ask advice from. It's not that your mom don't want the best for you. Of course they do. Of course she do, right? For most, in a positive situation, of course she does, right? But she may not be able to understand the mindset that you're in right now, and she may guide you to be like, well, why do you need to move anyway? You can just do it right here, and da, 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 da. But you need to get up out of this environment, because this environment, you've outgrown it. It's time to move on. That's what Saturn represents. When it's time to graduate and move on, Saturn is graduation. It's like, yes, you've learned the lesson. Now it's time for you to move on. So for some of you, you are at a crossroads here. You are trying to make a decision. You're trying to figure out which is the best way for you to go. And the best way for you to go is for you to take a time to actually look at the pros and cons of the situation. Look at what it is that you're going to benefit in doing what it is that because you could say, oh yeah, I got a goal to get here. Most people say, yeah, that's what I want. I want to do A, B, and C. But yet they don't look at the steps that are involved and the sacrifices they have to make, because you have to sacrifice with the High Priestess energy in reverse. You're going to have to sacrifice. So what sacrifices are worth it for you? And that's where you have to look for information and data. With the Hermit and the Knight of Swords, you're going to have to look for information. You're going to have to look at the data. You're going to have to analyze it. You're going to have to make sure that you understand, all the information that you have, you understand what's involved with it. All right. And then you will go ahead and you will make the decision. Put your ego to the side. Stop worrying about what other people think about you and your situation. Matter of fact, don't tell nobody shit about what you're going to do. Don't do that. Some of you may be feeling like you don't have control over your situation. You don't know what to do. You don't know how to do it. You have control. It's just that you are not taking that control. Maybe you don't know how to tap into that energy. And for some of you, all it's a matter of is keeping it to yourself, sitting somewhere quietly so that you can get all the other unnecessary bullshit out your head and focus on the problem at hand, or the solution. Let's put it that way. We want a solution. All right. So that's what I got for you here. I hope that this helps you in some way, shape, or form. But I do feel like a lot of us are at a crossroads right now where we have to make the best decision for us. And jumping off that ledge is really scary right now, right? I'm surprised that the scorpionic energy didn't come out here. But yeah, we're at a point where we have to make a decision as far as what we're going to do, because we are at a level where we cannot go backwards. Saturn is not going to let you go backwards. Saturn is like, you've reached this, you've accomplished this goal. Now it's time to move forward. You've done everything you can do here. So some of you may be stagnant with the high priestess energy in reverse. You may be stagnant because you're not accepting the fact that everything that you can do is done. It's time to move on. And so know your limits, know what you can and can't do so that you can move on in a manner where you see how when she's running, she's on this it's like the world. She went through all these things that she had to go through. She ran through all of this and now she's here. She's got the band, she's crossed it. You've crossed the threshold. Okay? This is karmic. For some of you, you've settled out some karmic debt. Okay, whatever it was that you were dealing with, you've settled out some karmic debt. I do want to get clarity on these because you got 1, 2, 3, 4 major arcana here. Okay, and it looks like for some of y'all, you're just afraid of what other people may say. You may be afraid of hurting other people's feelings, or you may be afraid of how somebody might treat you. Is what I'm getting to. Okay, what's this Empress in reverse? Ooh. All right, Empress in reverse. Yeah, the King of Wands. See, some of you are not secure enough in yourself to take action. The King of Wands is Leo energy. This is all about confidence and courage. Courage. Masculine energy is actually taking that action, right? This is the warrior of the kings. He's the first to pop off when something goes down. Okay? The first. He's the first to take action in a critical moment. He's fire energy. Fire can't be contained. It has to do what it does, right? You either put it out or you let it burn. You let it go, right? And with sun energy, this is about what's best for you, right? What's best for you. And so with this clarifying this Empress energy in reverse, this is you saying, look, you taking control of being insecure. You taking control of being in a position where you're not confident, where you don't have control over anything. You take control. You have to take action. So action is involved here with this earth energy that's stagnant. Okay? The resolution to that is taking action. All right? Tell me about this high priestess energy in reverse. The high priestess energy in reverse. Aquarius energy. Okay? This is all about forward movement. Okay, this is about being innovative. This is all about healing as well. So the thing is that for some of you, you may want to there may be some people who don't understand you. They don't understand what your purpose is or what you're trying to do. Nobody's going to understand your purpose but you. That's the most challenging part of it. This world, directs you and guides you to look for other people's opinion on shit. But in reality, you have to detach from what other people think, what other people want, and you have to believe that you can accomplish whatever it is that you want to do, but your path is yours alone and it's for no one else. You have to believe that, okay? You have to, because it's hindering you from being who you are supposed to be. It's hindering you from going where you're supposed to go. And this is like holding, like the high priestess energy in reverse is the Neptunian energy or the Piscean energy in reverse. It's like not making a decision, being stagnant, being stuck, right? And this is, for some of you, it could be your intuition. It's like it may not be clear, right? But for you to get it clear, what you have to do is tap into this Aquarius energy, and you have to think outside the box. You have to detach from, everything, because you have to grow. It's all about growth and forward movement. Okay? So being stuck in, what everybody else is in, or being stuck in your imagination, or being stuck in your head, you have to come out, and that's air energy. So this Piscean high priestess energy is water energy. It's in reverse. So this is you, being stuck in your emotions. Air is needed here in this situation with the Aquarius energy. You need to detach from your emotions. And you need to think about forward movement, because that's the only way you're going to move forward, okay? Yeah, exactly. More fire is needed now. So taking that, go ahead and taking the option to move forward, right? Um, for some of you, it's just about just doing it. There's gonna be a journey. You're gonna go on a journey. You're gonna have to. There's got to be some movement here. So air is all about detaching, figuring it out. Okay. For some of you, is being around like-minded individuals or talking to people who are already dealing with the situation you might have already you're experiencing, um, and looking for resources in that area, right? Because you're gonna have to detach from people who are looking at things from a perspective in which doesn't even make sense. Like this is you in your imagination. Oh, well, what if this goes wrong? Well, what if that goes wrong? And what if this goes wrong? It's like, yo, detach from that. Come on, let's apply logic here. Okay? And let's take action with the Knight of Wands. Period. Okay? Period. Period. This Hermit energy. This is you sitting quietly, contemplating, looking at everything, deciding what it is that you need to do, or clearing your head, getting away from everybody and everything. Traditionally, the Hermit card, when you look at it, he's going off somewhere where the light is to be enlightened, following the light. And only he can see that light. Only you can see it. Okay? Following that light. Yeah, with the Five of Cup energy in reverse, yeah, you're gonna win some, you're gonna lose some. There's gonna be people who are gonna be mad, but shit, they'll get over it. Or yeah, there might be some emotional flare-ups that you might experience, but shit, you gonna have to let that go. You crying over spilt milk. The Five of Cup energy is typically this crying over spilt milk. It's like, wah, 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 what if this and what if that and what if this? It's like, yo, come on, man. Come on. You too in your emotion. It's too much water. You gotta let that go. Right? So this is, you got to figure out what's best for you. And then finally, the Saturn energy. I mean, we don't even need to clarify Saturn, but, yeah, see, Four of Cup. So it's like, looking at, what using discernment is what I'm getting. This Four of Cup energy talks to me about discernment. It's like, nah, that's not for me. Okay, yeah, I tried that. Or, yeah, this is that. You got to get away from making excuses, is what I'm getting here. Making excuses as to why this won't work. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to try that. And you're not even tried it yet, but you're shooting it down. Well, that might not work and why won't it work? Because blah, blah, blah. Well, that's not even a problem yet. You don't even know if that's going to work because you didn't try it yet. Like I was saying with the woman who was complaining about the problem. I sent her a solution and she didn't even use the solution yet. She's complaining that it's not working. How do you know it's not going to work when you haven't tried it? You haven't even clicked on the link. And it's not like it's going to take you a whole lot of effort to do it. Just click on the link and follow the instructions. It's like sometimes we just make excuses because we just making fucking excuses. And it's like, yo, you got to come up out of that energy because that's what's holding you back. And that's what's sabotaging you. All right. I wish you the best and I'll see you in the next reading. Good luck to you. Peace.